Hello, all of you gorgeous, beautiful people. It's Heather Faber. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. So I don't know about you guys, but I love the world of conspiracy theories. I love the world of thinking about things that are like too crazy and weird, but also believing that they're real. Don't know what that is. I ended up putting up like a poll on my YouTube and Instagram and asked if you guys were interested in this kind of stuff, and a lot of you voted yes. Guess what you guys are getting today? A conspiracy video. I am going to be getting ready with you guys while I talk about some conspiracies that I found online that I think are really interesting and weird and just something to think about. I'm actually going to Laguna Beach later, so I need primer for today. So I was looking up a lot of conspiracy theories, and I was quite interested in retail conspiracy theories. So kind of like, you know, like the stores that you shop at the mall, like do they have any conspiracy theories? For me, when I look up conspiracy theories, I usually Google like a topic and then obviously conspiracy theory after it. So I was like, I've never really heard many people talk about like retail. So when I was looking up retail conspiracy theories, one really stood out to me that I figured maybe you guys have already heard of, or maybe you haven't, but it is about Victoria's Secret. So back in June of 2020, a TikTok went viral about Victoria's Secret possibly having tracking devices in their bra. I have the video on the side so you guys can kind of see. So people were like opening up the little tags that come with the bra, you know, as most clothes do, they all come with tags. But inside this one was this weird little, you'll see it on the screen. To me, what it looked like was just a normal like sensor device, but a lot of people were actually thinking that it was some tracking device. But basically the theory goes that people think that these little teeny device things are little tracking devices, and they are a sex trafficking device. Now, I know that sounds pretty far-fetched and crazy, but to be honest, that kind of stuff just isn't that far-fetched, and it's not that crazy. Like, I feel like things like that are almost so normal now, so it's good to be as cautious as possible. So because this TikTok went so viral, Victoria's Secret had to come out with a statement and claimed that these are just RFID tags, and what those kind of tags are and what they're used for to track inventory through a supply chain. So, you know, in a factory, when they're making all of these clothes, they can kind of like track where they are. That's kind of what it is. They say that it's not like a tracker, it can only track like a few meters, and that's as strong as it is. So of course I googled an RFID? I am high. So immediately after reading that, I googled an RFID tag to see if it looked as similar to what it was that was on the TikTok, and it was exactly similar, so that is debunked. Thankfully, that's not real. That would be horrible if it was. Right, so I found one more retailer, like conspiracy theory kind of marketing tactic, and that is Brandy Melville. Now, if you guys don't know what Brandy Melville is, I'm sure most of you do. It's that stupid brand of like one size fits all or one size fits most, and it's been around for a really long time. It's really popular. So obviously we know that one size does not fit all. It does not fit most. Women have different bodies. We're either like a little bit bigger on top, bigger on the bottom, or we're both, or we're really skinny. I mean, there's just so many different body types, so clearly that statement is very false. And I've heard plenty of people question, why would any brand want to market themselves to just one solid little group of people? Well, the theory comes in that it's basically an exclusivity thing. So I'm gonna compare it to this brand really fast because it'll make sense, okay? So how many of you are familiar with Hermes? Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you've never heard of it. It's really exclusive, and they have one of the most exclusive items known to man, which is the rare Birkin bag, which is the hardest thing to get your hands on, but that's what makes it so desirable. That's what makes it so desirable to consumers and customers, because it's so exclusive and it's something that not everyone can have. So that's why it makes them so desirable. So basically people theorize that Brandy Melville does this as a weird marketing tactic. If you fit into their clothes, you are part of the exclusive club, and I've even Googled so many articles, and so many people have said it's a guilty pleasure to be able to fit into Brandy Melville and be able to shop there because of its little exclusivity rate. That doesn't sound much like a theory. I think it's genuinely just so obvious that's kind of how they market. Obviously, Brandy Melville hasn't come out with a statement about that, but it does kind of make sense because it makes people want it more. I remember being a lot younger and a teenager, and if I didn't fit into Brandy or something into Brandy Melville, I remember feeling so motivated to want to lose weight. But that was how it felt. It felt like, okay, I need to lose weight to fit into this club because it's so popular amongst teenagers, and teenagers will do anything to fit in. Right, so now we're gonna move on to one of my favorite topics, food conspiracies. These are actually so interesting to me. The first one we're gonna be starting off with is the grand old Starbucks, baby. So Starbucks is one of the most popular coffee chains in the world. It is equivalent to McDonald's for how many Starbucks there are. Every time I see a McDonald's, there's a fucking Starbucks right next to it. Starbucks has basically taken over the world, and if I'm being completely honest, their coffee isn't that great, so I don't really know why everyone's so hyped up on it, but hey, it's convenient and it's there, so I guess I get it. This is another marketing conspiracy theory, and the theory basically goes that Starbucks will purposely spell your name wrong on the cups, or they'll write it out wrong on the computer and then print it out just to make it look so crazy, so then you post a photo of it and then Starbucks gets free marketing. If Starbucks spelled my name really weird, my first initial instinct, especially because I do social media, would probably be to post it and laugh about it. But that's what they want. That's basically their free marketing tactic. So basically what that is Starbucks is getting free marketing from the consumer, you. So let's say I stumble across that story or whatever, brain will kind of think like, oh, Starbucks kind of sounds good right now, or oh, I kind of want a Starbucks, I kind of want a drink, I don't, maybe not, but that's kind of how I am. If I see something on the internet, I usually want it, so I mean, Starbucks is pretty smart for that, if that's true. If you live in the US, let me know how many of you guys drink out of your tap water or have a filter so then you can save money on buying water bottles. Are you ready to hear something that's kind of gonna ruin that for you? All right, here we go, baby. So the government puts fluoride in water. And that's a thing, the government, at least in California water, I know they do that. You're probably thinking to yourself, well, why the hell would we need fluoride in our water? Like, does it help clean it? Does it help filter it? Does it help, you know, especially let's say like living in California, like we don't have natural spring waters. I'm going to quote this for you guys of what the government states as to why they put fluoride in water. Improve teeth health. Isn't that what the dentist is for? How many of us have been to the dentist and had to put fluoride in our mouth and you have to leave it there? You don't drink the fluoride, you have to leave it on your teeth. Now, because of conspiracy theorists, we've got some theories as to why the government actually puts fluoride in our water. Okay, don't hate me really fast. I'm gonna do my eyebrows off camera because me talking and doing my eyebrows is such a mess, so I'll be right back and we'll get to the fluoride. The theories come in as to why the government puts fluoride in our water is because fluoride is damaging part of our brains. It is making us more intelligent and just basically making us more docile as human beings. Fluoride is damaging part of our brains. It is making us more intelligent and just basically making us more docile as human beings. Basically like a weird subtle way of mind controlling Americans. Now I know this sounds absolutely crazy, but when you really think about it, if you guys know anything about MK Ultra, that was all about mind control on American citizens. Actually also started off as a conspiracy theory, and it was basically the government was using mind control tactics on the American people to try and figure out if there were any ways that we could be mind controlled, and that's all facts. So when you think about something like that and then hearing this theory that you may think, oh, that's crazy, like they would never do that, it kind of makes you think twice. Well, what if? I mean, maybe, you never know. All right, so I am now on to the final theory, and I just want to quickly put a disclaimer because this one is a little bit darker, that if you are kind of like triggered by anything that has to do with Jeffrey Epstein or things that he's done, because if you don't know what he's done, maybe Google it before you watch this because he's done some horrific things. So if you guys are kind of triggered by that kind of stuff, I definitely would just click out now. That's kind of why I left this to the last, because it's a bit darker. On August 10th of 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his cell while on suicide watch. Obviously, he committed suicide. So just that whole sentence is like, how could someone have committed suicide in one of the highest suicide watching security? Well, obviously, if you know anything about Jeffrey Epstein and how powerful he was and just how many connections he had and all of these things, it just doesn't add up. And how could you kill yourself when you're on suicide watch in one of like the most like up there, I think it was like the best prison for suicide watcher, one of like, I should have like researched this more. It's so hard to find, honestly, like all this crazy information. But he was staying into, I believe it was a jail in New York, and he was strictly on suicide watch. Like no one he couldn't have died. And plus, when you're in a cell, they don't give you enough tools, or, you know, the walls aren't high enough and things like that for you to be able to commit suicide. There's just nothing that you can really do. Literally impossible. So they had allegedly found Epstein's his little man-made noose, or I think that's what it's called. He made it out of basically like the sheets that he had in prison, and usually they don't even give you that many. There were so many inconsistencies with his death as to how could he have even done this, get his hands on this kind of material. Like how could this have happened? And especially being on suicide watch and the cameras weren't working, and there was just so many inconsistencies that if you had the most powerful, most wanted man and on suicide watch, how did he get away with this? Now, obviously Epstein has gotten away with a lot for years. So basically with his death, where I'm getting at is there are two theories, okay? There's a theory that he's actually still alive and he just had a body double for the death photos and the autopsy, or he was killed by higher ups and he didn't actually commit suicide. There's a lot on the table here. Now, because he was so powerful, and if you know anything about the Epstein thing and his like black book, there was a lot of powerful people on that book. So obviously if he was still alive and he had to go testify in court and had to go to court, those powerful people would have had to go to court too and basically show their faces and be like, yeah, I was there, you know? Obviously, I'm sure nobody would want that, and especially when you're like higher up or just a regular human in general, you would not want to be known as the person who went onto Epstein's island or even associated with Epstein. So the theory kind of goes that these higher ups either basically got into the jail, was able to talk to the security guards or talk them out or pay their way or whatever, so then they could actually kill him. Because I believe in the autopsy too, there was something off about the bones that he snapped in his neck that didn't quite add up to how you could hang yourself. So some people think Epstein is still alive. They think they've seen photos of him recently on like different islands, definitely not in the United States. He's like somewhere else. People think he is still alive, but I feel like the most plausible theory would be the other one, that higher ups decided to kill him, because everyone to this day believes Epstein didn't kill himself. And I agree. I think there's a lot of inconsistencies. When it comes to someone that's so narcissistic like him, do you really think he would kill himself? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And again, this is all just a theory. Obviously, what we were told is that he killed himself, he died, there's autopsy proof, there's all of these things. So again, all just a theory, just fun stuff people are making up on the internet. I had to do my lipstick off camera because there's no way I can like apply lipstick and talk. I'm just gonna look like a complete idiot. But yeah, that was my little get ready with me while talking about some shocking conspiracy theories. Let me know if you guys like this kind of video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and please like let me know in the comments if you guys want to see more of these kinds of videos, because I love talking about these types of things. Also, please don't forget to follow me on all my socials. I'm super active on Instagram and TikTok, and of course YouTube, but I have those too if you want to keep up with me. I hope you love this video, and I hope to see you in my next video. I love you guys so much. Bye.